Evening everybody, it's Matt, Dyan. Welcome back to the shit show of our life. 12:18 in the morning. It is, I'm going to say what it is now. It's actually now Thursday. We've gone into a new day, 10th of July. Hope you're doing better than Dyan. She ain't doing all that good. I'm not going to get a good response from the ice, by the way, so wait for that. We have spent hours trying to click, traction, massage, reduce the pain, work out what points in her left foot are causing this. We have used magnesium gel to try and reduce the anti-inflammatory topically on and under the foot. We've had some clicks. Now remembering she's got hypermobility EDS, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, under the umbrella of her 22q11.2 deletion syndrome. She's been in lots of pain, obviously, and she has been doing some microdosing with the tramadol drops. Only small amounts because too much will set her body off. That ain't doing much for the pain. I've offered her some ibuprofen or Nurofen, but even that's at risk because that can make her even more hypermobile, so it doesn't mean it's going to help touch the edge. She's had a normal medicinal CBD THC, but that's not touching the sides. And I have suggested also some Panadol Osteo just to try and help numb some of the pain. But so you are in pain then? Do I have words for this? No, I don't have words for this. I encourage you to have some pain relief.
I had 3 drops.
You've had 3 drops. Would you like some anti-nausea and we'll give you some more?
How much do I normally have?
Okay.
Normally I had 10, didn't I?
Correct. So it's
if I have 3 more, is it safe?
Yes, that is safe. What we're trying to avoid is tipping her over. We don't want her then going into nausea and then having other effective results such as seizures. The pain, on the other hand, is what I'm concerned with. It's going to tip her over. I'm going to give you some anti-nausea so that I can get some pain relief into you. Ice off and ease. We've also put some Voltaren gel on, which is again another topical anti-inflammatory, just to try and help there. Popping in. 12:23 p.m. in the morning. 4 milligrams on Danzatron sublingual under the tongue, just to try and help reduce the inflammation factor.
Hey.
Oh, Bobby, I wish I could. We've been working on it for hours. Hours.
Yeah, make it stop.
I think it's actually
Aussie.
because of the dystonia.
Stressed out with the ice.
We need a bit more ice before we do that.
No, it's a lot of ice, trust me.
That's not much ice.
And
have you finished dissolving your thing so I can give you some tramadol?
Can you do that stretchy bit?
Sure, let me stretch out your foot.
It would be a nice stretch.
Okay.
Because the ice.
The integrity of the skin on her toes is deteriorating. She's already got fragile skin, part of Ehlers-Danlos and part of being bedbound. So I've got to be incredibly careful applying traction and pulling things so that we don't just simply rip the skin right off and cause more problems.
What you do, Will?
Willow's chasing around. So dystonia is, I think, the primary cause. My concern with this is, has the dystonia caused maybe an avulsion, the tendon under one of the bones in the foot? Has it caused some sort of ligamental tear? or micro tears in the muscle, or is it simply the bone has rotated in the position? Dyan has had foot surgery previously in this area, and a little part of the bone, part of the spur, has actually been surgically removed. Her feet are too small for them to actually put a replacement bone joint in. It's experimental at the time, so she couldn't get hold of it. So I've been a part of a problem of having a very small stature, small size, which is part of her 22q failure to thrive. The 22q, that's a chromosomal genetic disorder that Dyan's got, born with. Microdeletion on the long arm of the 22nd chromosome. She's missing 30 to 50 genes, 3 million DNA building blocks, and it culminates in about 180, 185 symptoms. How does that clicking motion move for you?
It's a click.
With a gentle click.
Oh, I want a big one.
You want a big one, I bet you do. You want the mother of all clicks just to give you some relief.
But you go to the eyes first, the keys, yeah. I
know, I'm just trying to whip. So the magnesium was our first go-to as a topical cream. It does have natural anti-inflammatory powers. The Voltaren gel, more specific, very, very useful applied topically. But remember, those topical creams don't really go too far into the subcutaneous layer. They don't permeate into the skin all that well, so they don't help all that much. The ice is a natural anti-inflammatory, of course, but that can only be tolerated so much without creating ticking. How did that feel?
A little end of it.
Right.
And then the end of it.
We spent a lot of time massage, traction, pressure pointing, manipulating just to get little joints in. Sometimes it's the smallest things. It's a bit like death by 1,000 paper cuts. Those small little things really are annoying and cause more angst, more frustration. It's 12:25 in the morning. Dyan's just had some custard, a request about half an hour ago. It was delicious, was it? Good. You're welcome.
What the ambit fix up? I know the ambit.
Your toes not meant to bend that way. This is the problem with hypermobility. It's how much things can actually move.
We're gonna like, I don't know.
Just gonna apply a bit of ice again.
This is a bitch, man.
Sorry, I'm trying to help. So like I said, I think it's a dystonia, and a lot of dystonia has been left side, and she's had a lot in her foot, causing terrible arching actions, and that arching action and those contractions, that's what dystonia does. It causes irregular muscle posturing, misshapen positioning, tremoring or fibrillation, but it's the contraction, the extreme contractions that cause incredible amounts of pain and pressure. The tendons, which actually attach the bone to bone, the ligaments, the muscle to bone, and then of course on the muscles themselves in those surrounding areas. So release the ice. As always, we're just sharing Dyan's experience around the clock, from the good times to the bad times, so you understand what life is like with complex, multisystemic, chronic, long-term conditions, multiple rare conditions. How are you feeling, sweets?
I haven't got that long. It's really sore.
Yeah. Is there anything else that we should be trying for your foot to help you, do you feel?
I'm sure. It's been so long. The twisting is really good.
Right. The jiggling, the twisting. Are you feeling any particular points of pain? Click on the fourth toe.
The second toe next to the big toe.
Mm-hmm.
It's stiff and not releasing.
Okay.
Third toe.
Is the pain dropping down at all?
Release it. No.
Pain's not very helpful. If the pain threshold goes too high, then that can trigger, of course, other things. And we're trying to avoid other things. We've had a huge Tourette's day today. the sort of day where we shouldn't have really gone out. The sort of day where I'm glad I carry so many different medications for Dyan with me at all times, because we had to apply emergency meds while we're out and about in the shopping centre, because the Tourette's, the ticking, both motor and particularly vocal tics, was just insane. It's not easy for Dyan in those environments. It doesn't make her feel very comfortable. It draws a lot of attention that she doesn't want upon herself. So she doesn't feel comfortable with that. Can I give you some tramadol? Nausea.
Sorry.
Why are you sorry? I'll keep massaging until you hopefully fall asleep. We're going to do 3 drops, deal? Opening up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Keep going.
That was very chewy.
Chewy? Sure.
It's very bitter.
12:31. That was Tramol oral drops. 3 drops applied.
Yeah.
The tramadol actually comes in capsules normally, but it starts at 50 milligrams. 50 milligrams will put Dyan out into states of nausea, and her body won't be able to manage, and will cause other problems. So we used to have to actually self-compound, opening up the capsules and splitting them into at least half, if not third components, just to reduce it to a dosage that's tolerable, even as a slow release. One bright spark in a hospital, a physician actually gave her 200 milligrams of tramadol in a capsule once. That was a horrible experience that lasted for days, and that was not something which will ever put her through.
That was my worst Christmas ever.
That was Christmas. That was the Grinch personified, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But they didn't actually take into account Dyan's very small stature and size, low body weight,
or tolerance.
and
I don't take painkillers.
understanding that medications can have grave effects for her like that. Oh my goodness me. So at least with the drops, we've got the ability to microdose, start low, go slow, build up, do it more progressively until we can get to a threshold level which is not causing intolerable nausea, throwing up, or other complications. So I'll apply a bit of ice. Sorry.
I need second skin on that little spot.
You want some second skin on the toe?
Yeah, it's really bad.
As I was saying, because of the skin integrity, it's one of those things which tears away and you lose that external layer of dermis.
It's gross.
Fixie-Mole, transparent. And ice off. Second skin. Alright, we're just going to do a second toe, yeah?
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, I want chocolate and custard pie from McDonald's.
Really? You want all those things?
Yeah.
I'd just like some dinner.
Dinner. Sad.
It is sad, actually.
You don't have dinner?
No, not dinner.
Ow.
Oh my god, your toes are impossible to work with. You've got such small little toes.
Sorry.
Okay, abort. We're going to have to really go.
Tiny.
Really go tiny. We're going to take that much off. Toes are such awkward things at the best of times.
It's working.
It is working. Here we go. Alright.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's hope that gives you some relief. Pardon me?
Just wanted to click it and then the pain would stop. Papa. And the pain will stop. Hey Willow. He's staring at the camera. Say hello.
Still working. Our lovely neighbour dropped
It's
this off
so
today
cool.
for young Max.
Max loves it.
He actually loves it. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's very soft and spongy.
Hey, Willow,
Christina, was
it's
doing
bed,
a
isn't it?
clean out of her house. I was cats sitting for her while she was away, helping her with a few things. And as she's doing a bit of a clean out, she's decided that they don't need that. It's not something that Sasha, her ragdoll cat, was actually ever used or interested in. So we've been gifted a lovely cat bed, which young Max is enjoying. Has been enjoying.
Yeah, he likes it.
With his turtle, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
The dude from Nemo.
The dude from Nemo.
Yeah.
Right, where are we at with the toe?
The toy's out.
The toe is out. Wish it would go in. That would just be nice. Sorry about the camera angles, but it's a bit hard. I'm hoping that things will enable Dyan to get some sleep.
Yay.
Work the problem. So the Tourette's today, we probably shouldn't have even gone out based on how bad it was, and she had some dyspraxic walking or ataxic style gait issues before leaving, which is normally indications of neurological. So we've got combinations of dystonia and Tourette's throughout, but it's just a Tourette's-y day, very Tourette's-y day. And it lasted such a long time, and even after the emergency medications were applied, it still took a long time for it to subside and ease off. It's not one thing, or it's another, is it?
Aye.
Okay, there's a bit of a click.
I felt a few clicks.
Okay.
That's what you're doing.
Ice is always a good thing to bring inflammation down. The topical creams do help just to relax the areas around it, muscles, ligaments, tendons. Pressure pointing at the joint structures helps just to lengthen. If you can actually get past that stretch reflex, so you actually lengthen it out for about 25 to 30 seconds, it gets around the stretch reflex, which is a protective mechanism of the muscles to try and protect them from over stretching and taking things out of place. And then once you get past the stretch reflex, then you can actually just pop normally the joint back in if it's subluxed or dislocated.
No.
Is the pain easing off at all?
No. Sorry.
Anywhere particularly you're feeling it?
Sorry.
How deep into the toe? Head, middle, end, top part, head, middle,
No.
end, or down more into the leg. Talus?
Yeah.
Okay, down into the longer talus bones.
Yeah.
How's your day been? One eye is closed.
What else can I eat?
Okay, so you got a bit of blepharism going on at the moment in the face.
What else can I eat?
So even amongst all this pain, also with blepharism in the face, which is a part of the segmented cranial dystonia, you're hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Right. Let's have a look at your face. Let's see what's going on.
I deserve something delicious.
Right. Can you open your eyes for me?
I can't see eyes, so I'm sorry.
Okay.
What? One eye is open.
One eye's a quarter open, which is your right eye, half
It's
open.
I can see out of it, but the
Right,
other one,
the left
no,
eye's
no
not.
hope.
Okay.
What can I eat?
So that's the blepharism. Blepharospasm is part of segmented cranial dystonia for Dyan. If it gets into your jaw, we need to take that chewing gum out immediately. Okay.
Okay.
So enjoy it right this second, but we don't want you swallowing it down.
But I need food.
You need more food.
What do I eat?
That's a good question. What do you eat? Would you like a bit? Would you like a juicy pack? Fruity pack. Yeah, we'll do that. You want to take the chewing gum out?
Very bitter, that stuff you put.
I know, it's not much fun, the medications. I'm sorry.
It's not fun at all.
Right, you talk to the people while I get you a juicy pack.
I'm not doing good. And I even had a bit of a meltdown. It's been a hard day. And I thought it would be ending when I got home and could relax. You know, you think it would go away. And it's gotten worse. In fact, just everything's gotten worse. The conversation pretty much went like this. I'm rejected by everyone in society. End of story.
There's Willow. He's comfortable. Lucky him.
Where is it?
Alright, I'm going to bring you a juicy pack. We're also going to get you sitting up a little bit because with dysphagia we don't want you aspirating. Thanks very much for playing. And fine.
Thank you.
No worries. Here we go. I'll put the ice away because I don't want it any longer. I'm also going to wash that T-cell covering. Obviously with ice we use the combination hot cold clay pack. So it's actually frozen clay, which is very moldable when it's in its frozen state, which is really good to be able to get around small areas. That's why we like the clay packs. But with any ice, we always put a protective covering over so it doesn't actually burn the skin. Ice burns.
I come up with that out of necessity. Great inventions come from necessity.
Okay.
It's weird.
This is a quiet video, isn't it? We're nice and relaxed. Trying to get Dyan to sleep so that the pain will go away.
Nighttime routine.
Dealing with acute pain, something that's actually dislocated out, tics that are going on, dystonia in the face. It's great.
My pain's so bad, man.
Okay, let's try and flex you up now. A lot of resistance in a dorsiflexion. Is your foot okay?
Pain.
Pain. There's a lot of resistance in there. There's a lot of contraction strength.
Really?
Dyan has some very lengthy dystonia in the hand. That was your left hand today, wasn't it? Your focalized dystonia. That lasted for hours, continuous.
That was really annoying.
So it was not just it wasn't a fibrillation. It was actually postural contraction, held position of her hand, left hand, several hours before that actually finally eased off and relaxed. And of course, when your hand's like that, it's very difficult to do anything, hold anything, lift anything, grasp anything. You can't actually do that. So that was very difficult for her during all of this as well.
Mm-hmm.
So mixed symptoms. You've got things like dystonia, you have things like Tourette's, you have things like seizures, you have cardiac and respiratory issues that go along. Do you want a drink?
Nah.
No, you okay?
I'm good.
You're good.
I just need my foot to fucking stop.
That would be nice.
Ew.
It's 12:45 in the morning. Finding a lot of resistance in the dorsiflexion, so whether that's part of the dystonia, and the dystonia is just holding contractions down that left side, left hand today, left foot. Quite commonly, left side is not always equal bilaterally, both sides of the body. When we say this, we look at the blepharism, for example, the left eye is the one that's also affected. So left domain going down, so from eye to hand to foot. Sometimes it's always equal bilaterally. You'll see both sides doing the same things. Sometimes you'll see it unilateral, one side only, that's actually affected. What might happen is if she gets totally into a relaxed state and asleep, the joints themselves might actually just suddenly click because they actually relieve themselves from the muscular tension, or the dystonia releases and eases out. So that the joint and the foot can actually just naturally move back into its natural position. So just thought I'd give you a brief update as what we're going through. I'm hoping that Dyan's going to be able to fall asleep soon. Thank you as always for being here on the channel, watching, just understanding what Dyan's going through as we educate and advocate for a variety of rare conditions, genetic conditions, and particularly 22q11.2 deletion syndrome that Dyan's dealing with, Ehlers-Danlos. She's been affected by her post-exertional malaise coming off the ME/CFS as well. Pain management, we're actually having an appointment in the not so distant future, which will hopefully give me some additional options for pain. And I'm also meeting with the hospital executive in a week's time. So the head executive of the hospital, the director of clinical services director, and the manager for the outpatients referral systems. Whilst we also have a new appointment for general medicine added to another list of specialists. Why not? As if we didn't have enough specialists for Dyan. Respiration rate is reduced. Both eyes are closed. I'm going to turn the lights off. I'm going to say goodbye. So big thumbs up of encouragement. Comments, questions, ideas and suggestions, leave them below. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Falling asleep's not a bad thing. We all want to do it. It's 12:46. Hopefully we'll get some sleep soon. Bye guys.